Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep, a tuak, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. You can see me in the kitchen cooking up a roast or Vegemite on toast, just you and me, a cup of tea. Later on we'll settle down and go out on the porch and watch the possums play.
Hello and welcome to Bio in Nature. We're here in the Great Australian Outback and we're going to be exploring the effects of hybridisation.
But what is hybridisation, you might ask? That's a good question because we're not sure either. Let's go back to the lab for an explanation.
Hybridisation is the production of hybrids by the process of crossbreeding different organisms. It is a technique where molecules of single-stranded DNA or RNA are bound to complementary sequences of either single-stranded DNA or RNA. A hybrid is an individual resulting from two genetically unlike species. They occur in nature in order to increase genetic variety, or artificially by ensuring that the gametes from two different organisms are fertilised. Hybrids resulting from two different species are usually infertile due to the chromosomes not matching up, and the gametes cannot be formed in meiosis. Alright, I'll try a different approach. For thousands of years, farmers and herders have been selectively breeding their plants and animals to produce more useful hybrids. This was somewhat of a hit and miss process, since the actual mechanism governing the inheritance was unknown. Knowledge of these genetic mechanisms finally came as a result of careful laboratory breeding experiments carried out over the last century and a half. Gregor Mendel's experiments with plant hybridisation led to his laws of inheritance. This work became well known in the 1900s and formed the basis of the new science of genetics, which stimulated research by many plant scientists dedicated to improving crop production through plant breeding. He conducted hybridisation experiments on about 29,000 pea plants. Peas were a good choice for Mendel because they had easily observable traits that he can manipulate. In his many years of research, Mendel used 7 pea plant traits which include flower colour, flower position, stem length, seed shape, seed colour, pod shape and pod colour. This first generation of hybrids produced a 3:1 ratio, where there were 3 plants showing dominant traits and 1 showing recessive. These experiments allowed Mendel to conclude on 2 laws of inheritance, the law of segregation and the law of independent assortment. Now back to you guys in the Great Australian Outback.
I get it now. Now with our newfound knowledge, let's go find some
Here
examples.
we have a mule, which is a hybrid of a female horse and a male donkey. This example is between 2 species. The mules are harder working and tend to have a longer lifespan because of their increased muscle mass and various other characteristics. However, unfortunately, they are unable to reproduce because their diploid number is 63, so they cannot split properly in meiosis.
An example in a species is the breeding of Border Leicester rams imported from England in 1871 with Australian merino ewes. This produced first cross mothers that are then used to produce lambs that are ideal for their meat qualities.
Wow, so the meat we ate today went through all that struggle back then. But I think we have something that can beat that! In the late 1800s, times were tough and the Aussies wanted wheat because the quality of the Australian grown wheat was too low for human consumption, until a bloke by the name of William Farrer started an investigation using crossbreeding to improve bread wheat, which is known as Triticum astevium. He's prevented self-fertilisation and carried out artificial crosses of wheat variety. He succeeded in breeding new wheat varieties that were more suited to the drier climatic conditions of Australia.
Wow, I hope you guys are taking notes. That's it for this week in Bio in Nature. See you next week.
Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep, a tuak, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back.